Thank you so much. What a great show we're having, right? We've learned so much information. Yeah, we're gonna keep it going. I'm Leandra. I'm here to talk to you about poop. Yes, thank you for that. But I'm Canadian, so I am sorry about it. Yeah, I'm apologetic both genuinely and because Canada might revoke my citizenship if I wasn't. So I work on global sanitation programs. I aim to ensure that everyone, everywhere, has access to a safe and sustainable toilet. And from that, I've learned a lot of lessons about what sustainable sanitation actually looks like. So I'm here tonight to tell you that the future of toilets might not look like this. Oh. Oh, just wait, it gets better. It might, in fact, look a little bit like this. I love you. Yeah. And I know what some of you are already thinking. This is like some King Henry VIII shit. We don't want that. Yeah, I hear you. But here's the thing. Your poop is actually a fantastic and underused resource. With the right toilets, your poop could grow trees. Stay with me. Your poop could feed populations. This is going really well already. Your poop is part of a circle of life, and it just can't wait to be king. Yeah, so we need toilets that can embrace this, and audience members as well. Thank you. So let's break it down. Everyone shits, right? It's probably a good place to start. Are we all aware? Like, I'm not sure if there's any first dates tonight I'm ruining, just like, please don't tell them yet, I've been holding it in. Okay, well, everyone poops. Yeah, if you don't, go see a medical professional, please. But unlike everyone in this room, not everyone has the luxury of pooping in a safe and sustainable toilet. In fact, 3.5 billion people globally don't have access to safely managed sanitation. That's nearly 1 in 2. Got real quiet. 1 in 2 people who don't have a safe place to watch their morning TikTok videos. Or look, at least the good TikTok videos that make it onto Instagram, right? If you're like me and old. Yeah, so 1 in 2 people. And this has huge consequences for our environment and our health. Roughly 829,000 people die every year from illnesses related to sanitation that isn't safely managed. That's nearly 2 Tassies. So, we still have a long way to go to ensure safely managed sanitation for all. Now I'm talking about sanitation that is safely collected, transported, treated, and then reused or disposed of. For most of us in this room, this is a process we don't think a whole lot about, right? Because you probably have one of these bad boys at home. The OG. Maybe you're a bit fancy of one of these ass fountains. Or maybe you're this level of bougie. This is the level of bougie Donald Trump turned down. Yeah, but essentially we all have pretty much the same experience. We do our business, we flush the toilet, and then we kind of just forget about it. We tend to trust in our sewer systems, and we believe that there's someone on the other end who's managing our waste properly. But in reality, our sewers and our treatment processes are not all they're cracked up to be. Sewers, for one, can be very difficult to maintain, especially if we flush things that aren't poop, pee, or toilet paper. These are literally the only things you should be flushing, okay? No tissues or menstrual products. No flushable wet wipes. Don't let the name fool you. Yeah. And no drugs you're trying to hide from the cops. I don't care what Hollywood tells you. Don't flush these things. And when we do flush them, this happens. This is called, and I'm not kidding, a fatberg. Yeah, and when these happen, someone has to go deal with it. Yeah. In Melbourne, we waste about $1 million a year removing fatbergs from our sewer systems. In Sydney, they remove over 5,000 fatbergs a year. Yeah, and that, my friends, is just the tip of the fatberg. Let's talk about treatment. In Melbourne, we're doing pretty good. After sewers, our wastewater is sent through 3 different treatment steps. But let me shit on Sydney a bit more. In parts of Sydney, wastewater doesn't get treated at all. In fact, there are 3 places in Sydney where untreated wastewater is sent directly to the ocean. Guess where one of these outlets is near? Nailed it! Yeah, I don't remember seeing that episode of Bondi Rescue. Yeah. So this is happening as we speak. Untreated sewage is sent directly to the ocean. They're not gonna have this fixed until 2025. This is not safely managed. So, sewer sanitation. Look, just because something's been around for ages doesn't mean it's good. Yeah. So let's talk about non-sewer sanitation. There are a bunch of inspirational things happening in the world of non-sewer sanitation. In places like informal settlements or slums in Kenya. Or places like floating communities in Cambodia. Places where we have to think differently about sanitation. Where we have to embrace the king in our circle of life. So let me share with you 3 examples of non-sewer toilets. And don't worry, I'm not gonna waste your time with composting toilets. There are plenty of van life influencers on the internets to help you out, okay? Now, first up, I'm gonna tell you about the Arbaloo. I know it is a lot of R's for the Aussie accent. So Arba as in tree, Loo as in the dunny, which is a word not suitable for my accent. We all have our strengths. So the Arbaloo is cool. You dig a pit, it fills up. As long as you used it properly, you can plant a tree on it. And you just move over a little bit, you dig another hole. It's pretty cool. I give it a 3 shit rating. Yeah. It only works if you're in an area where you can dig a pit, and you have to be able to dig multiple pits in your life. Next, vermicomposting. Vermi as in worms, correct! Well done. Yes. And composting as in that thing I assume Gwyneth Paltrow pays other people to do. So vermicomposting is where you have a toilet or a hole in the ground connected to a pipe. You do your business, and it goes into this offset pit filled with worms and a bunch of other stuff. So it's like a composting toilet, but much faster. The worms break down the feces, and you can use it as fertilizer. Pretty cool. I give this one a 4 shit rating. Yeah. Worms in your toilet. It is kind of similar to something they're trialing up in Queensland where they scare the shit out of you. We do not have this in Canada. Yeah. All right, finally, container-based sanitation. It's exactly what it sounds like. You do your business in containers, and those can be switched out when they're full. Great for places where you cannot dig a pit. 5 out of 5. Most of these types of toilets are urine diverting. It means that there are separate containers for the urine and the feces. Lots of upsides to this, mostly because having those streams separated at the start means you can use them both as resources. Downside, requires a bit of aim. So, both the urine and the feces can be used as resources. Fertilizer, rather, as the resource. But some places are trialing different treatment and reuse methods for the feces. One option, black soldier flies. These are not your average fly. The average fly is disgusting. Okay, I see some head nods, amazing. Yeah. They are a huge vector of disease, they're nasty, and that's coming from me. I literally sample human shit for a living, and that's not my own. Yeah, so I'm here to tell you that black flies are gross. They love to land on feces, and then they love to land on your food. Or your face. Yeah, of all the creepy crawlies in Australia to not want in your home, black flies should be near the top of your list. Yeah. But black soldier flies are next level. Once they become an adult fly, their only goal is procreation. They don't eat. They just get their rocks off as often as possible with only water to sustain them, and then they just expire. Like out of sheer exhaustion, I imagine. Yeah, so they don't eat in the period that they can fly, which means that they don't have any reason to land on your food. It makes them very clean. They only eat in their larva stage, when all they can do is wiggle around a little bit. So in this stage, they gorge themselves on feces and organic waste because we all need our fruits and veggies. Yeah. And at a certain point in their growth cycle, they're harvested, otherwise known as sacrificed. And they're put through a process similar to an automatic car wash. There's a whole steaming phase, a deshelling phase, and they emerge on the other end, dead. But as this protein-packed agricultural feed, people feed it to their pigs and their chickens, which means it's edible for us too. Just pop some cheese powder on those babies. Yeah, okay, see, this is a future you can get behind. I hear it. Yeah, you're excited now. A future where your poop helps to line the aisles of Woolies. A future where your poop reforests entire areas. Yeah, so tomorrow, when you're on the toilet after your morning coffee, remember that your poop is kind of amazing. And it could do so much more for our planet. If only we could embrace a future where our toilets no longer look like this, but instead look a little something like, oh shit, sorry, those snakes are really persistent. This, okay, a future where toilets look like this. So, embrace the future of poop, everyone. It just can't wait to be king.